I'm not going to sit here and say the Big 12 is a great conference right now in terms of can any of these teams win a national championship? Probably not. But BYU's not terrible. Iowa State's not terrible. Kansas State's not terrible. And you go to Texas Tech on the road, you almost beat them. So, yeah, I think the Bearcats have had a great season. They're going to make a bowl game, and I did not think that was possible. So, Scott Satterfield, I will eat crow. I will eat my words. I apologize. You've done an admirable job this season getting the train back on the track after a loss to Pitt. Pitt, by the way, hasn't lost a game.
That's right.
So, that's worth noting a little bit. And you had Pitt beat 100% into the fourth quarter. I don't know. I good for him. I don't expect a national championship anytime soon, but if you're going to compete for the Big 12, a Power 4 conference, then hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, Power 4.
That's right.
I need you to remember that,
That's right.
Jacob.
That was the one part of your argument that everybody just
once you did that, it didn't matter what you said.
Because it was such an easy rebuttal. It was like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
And that's true. I rarely do. But you see, this is a huge game for them against Colorado in Folsom, and then at Iowa State, at Kansas State coming up as well down the stretch. So they're going to have to play that top end of the Big 12 here soon, and they're going to have to go on the road to do it. So we'll see what happens. But before the season, I said that they're going to be fighting to make a bowl game, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I think they're going to – you're 5-2. I certainly hope you make a bowl game at this point. That would take a crazy collapse. But it's been a great season. Sorsby's been better than I ever expected him to be.
Yeah.
It's been really nice to see UC take this big of a step this year. And my main takeaway from looking at where UC sits in the Big 12, you said they're, fifth right now?
Yep.
Third in the Big 12 right now, according to ESPN. And my main takeaway when we talk about the Big 12
Tied
and
for
how
third.
it's looked this year, why are we giving them a bye in the first round of the playoff? Why is their
Agreed.
conference champion getting a bye? We should not have locked those 4 byes in to conference champions, not the top 4 conferences. The ACC champion's probably not going to deserve a bye unless it's an undefeated Miami. And then the Big 12 champion certainly doesn't deserve a bye. It's going to be the 10th ranked team in the country. So I don't know why we did this. We're going to see already in year 1 that 2 conference champions certainly
Guaranteeing a
don't deserve
spot in the playoff, no problem. Obviously.
Needs to be. Absolutely.
That's easy.
Ridiculous that a team like BYU, and they're putting together a great season. It's been fun to watch, but ridiculous that a team like that or Iowa State can get a first-round bye in the college football playoff.
I don't think there's anything wrong with guaranteeing a bye to the 4 power conferences. Because what's the point of joining? You're trying to get those teams to join, right? I would say you want more teams in those conferences.
Well, Pac-12 will take the Big 12
Sure.
bye when they get that conference started back up.
Sure. I don't have an issue with it. I think it makes it fun, and I think it punishes teams like Notre Dame who want to be selfish. And
I don't think an independent team should be able to do it. I think 2 SEC teams and 2 Big Ten teams should be able to get the bye if they're the 4 best teams in the country.
Yeah. There's certainly an argument. I would just say I think if you win your conference, I think having this reward is worth it.
Do you think it's a reward? I guess that's another talking point about it.
I think having a bye is a reward.
You do?
Yeah,
I think
I do.
I'd rather play.
Really?
I do.
No, I think it's a reward. Taking a week off, it's college football. The season's no longer what? With the 14 playoff is how many games?
15-0 is a national champion. Now it's 17-0.
17-0 is a national champion. So yeah, it definitely matters. Keep guys fresh.
I like the aspect of getting to host a home game.
Yeah.
That's why some of those, if you get that first round bye, it's I'd rather, again, from a fan perspective, I'd rather have my team host a first round playoff game than, so will they host Ohio State, let's say they win the Big Ten, they get a bye and then they host a game? Yeah, see, I'd rather
They get a bye
host.
and then you play in a bowl game.
Yeah, see, I'd rather host. From a
Ohio
fan
State-
perspective, I'd rather them
If
host.
Ohio State is the 2 seed, or if anyone's the 2 seed, and Miami is the 3 seed, and they both win their first game after the bye, Miami, the 3 seed, will play the 2 seed in a home game in the semifinal because it's already locked in preseason that it's the Orange Bowl. How crazy is that?
That is nuts. That is nuts.
Yeah, I think bowl game traditions need to be wiped clean. I remember I made Utah fans mad. I didn't know they had such a big fan base a few years ago because I was mad when Ohio State Utah played. I think Alabama missed the playoff that year as well, and I said, give fans what they want. These bowl games mean nothing. At least put Alabama and Ohio State together in this bowl game, and instead they gave us Ohio State Utah.
Yeah.
Now it's a great game. Ended up being a great game.
It was a fun game.
Cam Rising was only a 4th-year sophomore at that point. So I mean, it was many moons ago. No, but get rid of the bowl game traditions at this point because there's nothing traditional about college football anymore. So stop trying to pretend that you care about the traditions of the past when you've kicked those cans, down the road for many years now. But, Last thing on the Bearcats on the way out. So they've surprised me at 5-2. I mean, I remember mocking them coming in. It didn't sound like the preseason press conference for, why am I drawing a blank on the head coach? Satterfield. When he said, well, our goal is to win more games than we lose and just to protect Nippert. That's all he cared about. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound promising. That doesn't sound like you know what I mean? Like most coaches, like they're at least, you can roll your eyes at some coaches who say our goal is to win a championship. But I mean, at least they're out there saying our goal is to win a championship. Our goal is to win the Big 12. Our goal is to make the playoff. Our goal is to win more games than we lose and, take care of our home field. That'll get people going, right? But they're 5-2. And their offense is one of the best in the country. Sorsby, again, you're only as good as your quarterback, and Sorsby has caught the attention of everybody. And I think that the future is bright with Sorsby at quarterback, no doubt about it. And I think that the offense has been a pleasant surprise because the whole thing about Satterfield was, well, he's your head coach because why? Because Louisville loved getting rid of him. It's not like they were sad about it.
Yep.
Cincinnati gets him. No one lost their mind and thought it was the greatest hire in the world. No one was excited about it. I didn't really know what the purpose of Satterfield was. But now there's a purpose. He's implemented an offense. He has a great quarterback, and now they have a shot. And they have a shot on Friday or Saturday night against Colorado, 10:30 Eastern kickoff. But the question I have for Jacob is, Cincinnati's changed the minds of many, many people. Are you one of them?
No. And I guess we won't get to find out whether I was right or wrong because they're not going to fire Satterfield after this. So we won't be able to see if they can go hire a good coach because he's doing well enough to keep the job. So.
See, even when you win,
it was a silly take. It was a silly take.
Even when you win, you lose.
UC's a solid program, and I think a lot of coaches would want the job. But that's just my opinion.
It is one of those where Satterfield.
It is funny, by the way, that Vandy is also good this year, or relatively good.
Vandy's a much better job than Cincinnati.
Well, some will disagree, and that some will be me. But again, very funny that Vandy's good this year.
Clark Lea leaving for UC? If they fire Satterfield right now?
But that's such a crazy hypothetical.
Well, it's an easy no.
Well, it's an easy no because he's locked into his job and the team's not terrible this year.
Because he built him up quicker than Satterfield.
Nonsense. This is nonsense.
If Kentucky moved on from Stoops, would Stoops take the Cincinnati job?
Do you think Bob Stoops is a good coach?
I mean, I think Kentucky's a tough team. I mean, he's done okay things with Kentucky in the SEC when they're not a football school.
They want him. That would be the same thing as Louisville, where you hire a coach from a Power 5 school in Kentucky and their fans throw a party as soon as he gets to Cincinnati.
I only bring it up because another loss. Like now, I think Kentucky for a bit was doing some competitive stuff that had people's attention.
For sure.
Now that's kind of run its course. It's like, okay, that's cool early on. You get people's attention. Like, oh, look, they're doing this. I mean, imagine what they're going to do in another year or two. Well, they're doing the same things over and over. They're winning. They're shocking you. They get the Ole Miss win, and then they still keep losing to bad teams. They're not doing anything with the opportunities that are given to them, nonetheless. All right, this is Off the Bench, presented by United Dairy Farmers, Chatterbox Sports on YouTube, ESPN 1410 Wing AM in Dayton. Little news, not news on the other side, plus Bengals wideouts. They announced that, of course. I think we all kind of knew that for the Eagles game coming up this weekend, but a little Bengals-Eagles talk when we come back as well. More Off the Bench next. Oh, we are back. Off the Bench, presented by United Dairy Farmers.
Oh, whoa.
I just saw Spot Track release the 2025 cap space for every NFL team for next season.
Ooh.
Thought that was interesting just right off the bat. We don't have to go too deep into it. But
let's see the Browns.
The Browns right now, minus $4.8 million heading into next year. And you can laugh, but guess what? I guarantee you by the time free agency starts, they'll probably have 40 to 50 to spend because that's what they
Unless you cut
always
Deshaun.
Do. What's that?
Unless you cut Deshaun.
Which I don't think that they will. They're going to need him because I think the insurance, they get $2.5 million towards the cap for every game that he misses next season.
For every game?
He is finally valuable to the Browns, jerks.
Oh,
there
my
you go.
gosh.
For every game he misses next season because of this injury, the Browns get $2.5 million per game missed added to the cap.
You're going to give him that
hold on.
Tyrod Taylor Chargers medical staff treatment.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Oh, boy.
Get
that little lung puncture.
You're like, hey, we'll stitch that Achilles right up and just tear it again.
So it won't be added to the cap for next year. It's every game that he misses next year will be $2.5 million added to the 2026 season.
Okay.
I see.
And that was part of that insurance. And I think I think they get like $12 or $13 million in insurance money right off the bat heading into next season, and then it's 2.5 a game after that. But yeah, the Browns and Saints, there's 3 teams in the negative. The Seahawks, the Browns, and the Saints. Now, the Browns, I said, were -4. The Saints are -81 mil.
Woo!
-81 mil.
Oh, yeah. Alvin Kamara, I believe, a $38 million cap hit next year.
Hit. I don't like the – I mean, again, I don't understand how the like everything – how it contractually fits. Like, cap hits drive me nuts. Maybe it's because I don't understand them. But I feel like if you get a contract off your books, you still shouldn't have to pay for that. That drives me crazy. Now, again, I'm saying that because it really, obviously being a Browns fan, of course, I would think that, right? But wouldn't you guys agree? I don't understand the purpose of a cap hit, especially if a team releases a player or trades a player. Even if the Browns found someone dumb enough to take Deshaun Watson, they still have to eat the cap hit, even if the other team takes on the full salary. It doesn't make – I hate that. I hate the cap hit. I just do.
I feel like it makes sense. You are locking yourself in to pay a certain amount of a salary that you agreed to. Like, they didn't agree – like, the other team trading for him didn't agree to that contract.
But even if another team did take on his contract, even if he retired –
well, they would take on the salary, not the guarantees, though. And that's what the Browns would be paying.
And they always roll it over. So
and it punishes the Browns for doing the restructure
all right,
thing,
I
like
see
they
what
did
you're
with
saying.
Amari Cooper.
I see because of the rollover, because they
Right.
wouldn't take on. That's what's happening with the Broncos.
And that's why you virtually can't trade Myles Garrett, is because the rollover for him, his cap hit over the next 2 years is like $41 million if you trade him.
I also,